Back here on HQ Spotlight, the preseason in the NFL is in full swing. So we're looking at how things are shaking out in the AFC East. The Bills lost to the Giants. The Patriots picked up a win against the Commanders. The Jets picked up a win against the Packers. And the Dolphins and the Bears tied, where Quinn Ewers and that preseason performance is probably one that everybody wants to forget. So we want to welcome back our guys, BMAC and Pete Prisco, to talk about some issues that need to be addressed for each team, this time in the AFC East. And we are starting with the Dolphins. Pete, we were just at Dolphins camp, a couple weeks ago, and we were there and saw firsthand the issues with the secondary. That practice we were at was where Cater Coe, who got hurt and was limping off, and that is, of course, one of the glaring issues, question marks, all the things that we have about the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, and he's done for the season. They lost Artie Burns the day before we got there. He's done for the season. And you look at their cornerback room and you go, oh my gosh, who's going to play corner for this team? Kendall Sheffield, the guy picked up off the scrap heap, came in as a tryout guy in May. He might start. Hadn't started a game, I don't think, since 2020. Storm Duck is another guy that's going to be part of the equation and be a starter. What do they do with Mike Hilton? What about Jack Jones? Jack Jones has played for New England and for the Raiders. I watched him play at Arizona State. I'm a Sun Devil. He's got a ton of talent, but he wears out his welcome in certain spots. So they have major concerns at corner. They seem to believe that they like their young corners and they can develop them. I think that's something that's really a question mark as they get ready to go into a season in a division where you have Josh Allen. And by the way, Josh Allen has owned the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to transition to the offensive side, and let's highlight what I saw in week one of the preseason, which was a concern for this team a year ago as well. Offensively, Tua Tagovailoa, Pete, he played in one drive, a 15-play drive all the way down to the goal line that came at a halt because of a goal line stand by the Chicago Bears defensive unit. And that's the issue. Finding a way to be more successful in short yardage situations, running the football north and south, has to be a major factor for their offense, because when you look at their offense, it's all about rhythm, it's all about misdirection. It's almost a tricking type of vibe offensively when they run the football. But when the field shortens and short yardage situations are there, 3rd and 1, 4th and run, you have to have the ability to run down the teeth of the defense to be able to convert those said opportunities. We heard Tyreek Hill talk about the issues of the concerns with the short yardage situations. We saw that play in the first drive. When you look at Jalen Wright, he's 208 pounds. You look at Ollie Gordon, who they drafted, he's the bigger of the backs, 225. But they have to find a guy that can be able to convert those said opportunities. Because the last time I checked, I don't know if the Miami Dolphins, Pete, would like to showcase the tush push knowing who their quarterback is. So they got to find a way to run the football. And guess what? We saw that problem surface in week one of the preseason in the first drive with Tua Tagovailoa not being able to convert a 4th and 1 situation for a touchdown.
And Pete, you mentioned it. Josh Allen, he owns the Miami Dolphins. So let's talk about him and his squad and the Bills. Of course, they have the reigning MVP, as mentioned. They are the favorites to win the division. But BMAC, what issues need to be ironed out for the Buffalo Bills?
The biggest issue for me, Jacqueline, Pete, finding a way to get James Cook extended so he can get right back out there with the guys and get ready for a championship-like run. Pete, you were there in training camp. You got a chance to see these guys up close and personal. We don't question the talent. We do not question the coaching. They have everything you would want your team to have to make a really, really good run at hoisting a sticky Lombardi. But with number 4, he makes things easier for their offense. He is an airback. He is a guy that can run the football well. He's a guy that can catch the football well out of the backfield as well. Not to mention the speed, the explosive ability he has. 16 touchdowns. He is just starting to scratch the surface in what type of back he can be in the NFL. But right now, he's more so watching than participating because of the lack of an extension getting done. So hopefully they can get this deal done sooner than later, because the longer he's waiting and just watching, it clearly messes up the rhythm a little bit, because week one, they're coming out the gate. They're not playing a jamboree type of game. They're coming out the gate against the Baltimore Ravens, and you would like to be able to have a full all-hands-deck mentality against the Ravens, because we know how good they will be this season as well.
Don't worry, B-Mac. He will be there. And after spending time up there and talking to people, they're close to a deal, and he's getting some bad advice right now. The deal they're offering him is a 3-year deal. It's a good deal. He needs to take it. I think he will take it. I think his agent, who's a relatively young guy, will realize that, look, he's a running back in the National Football League. They will give him a new deal. They've offered him a new deal. He will ultimately take that and be on the field. My concern with Buffalo is the same concern I have every year going into the season with them. Are they good enough against the run? Are they big enough? And that's been a problem for them for a long time. 4.5 per rush last year against. Not good enough, particularly when you have to stop the run and turn your pass rushers loose. So what do? They go out and they draft Sanders, TJ Sanders from South Carolina, big body in the middle. Deion Walker from Kentucky, a huge body at 365 pounds. All of a sudden now, they're bigger and stronger in the middle of that defense. You saw Walker make some plays in the preseason game the other day. So I love what they've done. They looked at their defense. They said, we have to get bigger. We have to get stronger. And they did. They're a better football team than they were a year ago.
All right, we keep wondering, is the championship window closed for the Bills? But if you have Josh Allen, you always have a chance. Pete is shaking his head. He believes in the Buffalo Bills. Let's go to the Patriots, because a lot of folks expect Drake May to take another big step. It is a young team overall, but it's a new era, right? Mike Vrabel is at the helm. So, Pete, what are the biggest questions that you have that you think need to be addressed for this Patriots team ahead of the season?
Well, I scored a bunch of points the other day, so it didn't look that way. But the reality is I have concerns about their offensive line. And they do, too. If they were honest about it, they would say they did as well. Look, Will Campbell, rookie left tackle, is going to be a good player, but he's still a rookie stepping in to play left tackle. My main concern is the center position. Garrett Bradbury is not very big. You know, our good buddy Rick drafted him way back in the day, Mr. Spielman. You drafted Garrett Bradbury because he says they wanted a little athletic center. Well, he's a little athletic center, but he's little, and he gets pushed around, and he doesn't push people around in the middle of that line. So I think that could be a problem for the New England Patriots. And then the right tackle, you have a veteran over there. You know, how much does he have left? Morgan Moses, is he going to be able to last the whole season? So there are questions on the offensive line. Until they show consistency up front, it's going to be a worry for the New England Patriots.
Well, Pete, your concern is attached to my concern. It's about the quarterback, second-year quarterback Drake May. We saw some flashes of really, really good play from Drake May throughout his rookie campaign. It's safe to say he did more with less. But they've improved their team. They improved their offense in totality. So it's up to Drake May to kind of continue to take steps in the right direction and protect the football. Because when you look at the guys that are surrounding him, especially to your point, Pete, if the offensive line does what they're supposed to do, this team should be pretty good. They should be much improved from what we saw a year ago. But it's about the quarterback as well, making routine plays happen routinely and protecting the football. We saw in what he played in 2 series in this week 1 of the preseason last weekend, he had a fumble. Those are the things you cannot surface and have be a part of your ball game if you're looking to have a playoff-like run for your team. And that is the aspirations that the Patriots clearly have when you look at all the money they spent and all the resources they've added to their team. So this is about the second-year plan for Drake May, being able to continue to develop and flourish, and most importantly, protect the football.
All right, so the Patriots not the only team in the division dealing with a first-year head coach. The Jets are in that same pool. It's Aaron Glenn, who's their head coach. They have a new quarterback in Justin Fields. And, of course, they locked up some of their stars in the offseason, signing Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson to some of those deals. But, B-Mac, what still needs to be ironed out ahead of the season for the Jets?
Undisciplined football. Undisciplined football. That was an issue a year ago. That's been an issue attached to the New York Jets for quite some time. So with this new regime, we're hoping to see smarter football in terms of penalties. But in week 1 against the Green Bay Packers, we saw 10 penalties for 91 yards. We saw Aaron Glenn doing the Aaron Glenn stare too many times in that preseason game. And when he does that stare, he's doing it because he is mad. He is heated. I saw 2 back-to-back 15-yard penalties, late hits on the defensive players for the New York Jets. Back-to-back. It wasn't like it was 1 series and 2 series later you saw it again. No, in the same series. These are things that cannot happen for the New York Jets when you talk about trying to be better in every aspect of their organization. So undisciplined play is something that will not be warranted. And clearly, Aaron Glenn did not take a liking to that when those things happened in week 1 against the Green Bay Packers.
See, for me, it's the consistency of Justin Fields. I think there are times you look at him and you go, oh my gosh, he's made the big step. He's made the stride. And then there are a couple plays later where you look at it and you go, no, he hasn't. And so I think it's consistency. And we saw a little bit of that the other night. I love what he does with his legs. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great, his ability to get outside the pocket and really scare a defense and threaten the defense. But he's got to be able to stand in there and make his throws. And you can't go 1 and get out. You can't go 1-2 and get out. You got to get to 3 and 4. If you don't get to 3 and 4, that's a problem, as great as a runner as he is. And I think we saw a little bit more of that. There was a play the other night where he checked it down to the tight end and he made a big play in the passing game. That's growth. And I think that consistency is the biggest concern for me with Justin Fields. If he can get more consistent and make plays with his legs and still get through his progressions, I think there's a chance that the Jets could actually push for a wild card spot. But it's all on Justin Fields.
All right, and the Jets open up the regular season against BMAC Steelers. So we have an Aaron Rodgers revenge game sooner than we might think. Pete, BMAC, we certainly appreciate it. And we're looking ahead to week 2 in the preseason. The AFC East teams in action on Saturday. We have the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets. And then on Sunday, the Bills and the Bears.